You mentioned Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder, this whole conspiracy, the cheating. Yeah, I know pretty much my reaction as well, too. What did you think of that? Especially with how long after the fight he came out to say it?
So I've been it seems like I don't like Deontay, but I do. I do like the character he's projected that we see. What I don't like is his behavior is contradicting the person he says he is. The reason why I say that is because we've not heard from Deontay Wilder, but we heard things from the camp. So therefore, he could say, "I never said that. I never said that. Bad shoulder, suit was too heavy, this, that, and the other." But it never came out of his mouth. But if people from the camp are saying it, then sympathies. People think, well, maybe this, the glove, whatever. Then Deontay Wilder finally decides to say something around the time when Tyson Fury is waiting for them two to be fighting each other. The fight's not going on, so he's just gone on with his own business. Then Deontay Wilder comes out. I personally think he won't fight again. And the reason why I think that is because he's burning that many bridges, and he's a fighter that's in the Who Needs Him club. He punches too hard, he's far too dangerous, and there's nothing. The risk reward is far outweighed. So if you was a fighter coming up and you had to fight Deontay Wilder or somebody else, you choose somebody else because this guy can bang. Not at one point has Deontay accepted any responsibility for his loss or for his performance. Not one point. So from blaming the likes of Mark Breland for accusing him for tampering with his water. To me, I'm actually surprised Mark Breland, which I don't think is that kind of guy, hasn't sued him because I know America is very litigious. And any smart barrister would say, "Yo, listen, this guy's defamation of character is ruining your rep." And so that's one. And so that's one. Two, the costume. He actually spoke. We heard it come out of his mouth. He spoke about the costume. I'm thinking, I've seen an interview before that when you say you train with a 40-pound backpack on every time you train. So all of a sudden that 40 pounds too heavy for you walking into the ring. So there's too many things that are contradicting. The fact that he wouldn't accept any responsibility for any part of his performance baffles me. So the final one is this about the glove game. Now, I'm telling you, as an ex-fighter, that means that Deontay Wilder's team members were conspiring against him because the guy that had to go into Tyson Fury's dressing room and check when Tyson Fury's bandages were being done and the gloves were put on, he had to be on Tyson Fury's payroll to turn a blind eye. That means that Mark Breland had to be on Tyson Fury's payroll to spike his water. The officials had to be on Tyson Fury's payroll to turn a blind eye. Because what happens is you get your bandages on, you get signed. It gets signed, so it's signed and sealed by an official. Then you get your gloves on. They get taped up. That gets signed. And people are watching you do this from both the other camp and the officials, and vice versa. So when Deontay Wilder was challenged on that, he said, yeah. And he gave his boys a mouthful of saying, "I've got evidence." You ain't got no evidence. You ain't got no evidence. Trust me, evidence will not materialize. The reason why I say you'll not see Deontay Wilder fight again is because Deontay Wilder is probably feels hard done by. Because I'm trying to be sympathetic. If Deontay Wilder really believes all this has happened and all these things have happened at the same time and all these people have conspired and got together to get him out, if he really believes that, I can understand his pain. I can understand where he's coming from if he really believes that. But it's far too many things that are said in that argument that he contradicts himself on. So he doesn't really believe it. Yeah. So now Deontay Wilder might think, you know what, I'm going to do it myself. So he might want to promote his own show. He might want to pay for his own opponent to come through. But I think, excuse my French, he's pissed that many people off. I mean, outside the ring, the business side of our sport off. People think, you're a great attraction, but we can't deal with you because we can't handle you. Because the stuff you're saying, it's not just a defamation of an individual. It's a defamation of our sport at the highest level. Now, if he proves that there was something in the glove I will apologize. I will get down on my knees and say, yo, you know what? I'm sorry I doubted you. I'm sorry I doubted you. He's saying he's got proof. He's got no proof. He's got no proof. He's saying all the things that he's saying about Brill and about his arm, about the suit. I just listened to for one acknowledgement of his own actions. Just one. There wasn't one. Yeah. Which means this man has not learned his lesson, which means that he's still delusional in regards to where he stands in the heavyweight landscape.
No, a lot of good points there. Can't disagree with really much any of that. So all that aside, though, would you like to see the trilogy fight with Tyson Fury? Let's say somehow there's some miracle and he, I don't know, something changes. Is that still?
I'll tell you what I think. I'll tell you what I think.
Yeah.
I think they had a deal. I think his people, the people that know his sport, have said to him, you don't want to go in there again. Have a couple more fights and then do it. And he's fuming that they dare believe that Tyson Fury legitimately beat him. And anybody that knows, I know as an ex-fighter, I'm quite sure Mark Brill knows, other knows, if you go in there again, your career's done. Because this guy's not just going to batter you, you're going to end up face down. And so they were probably advised him. So straight away, if they're advising him to do, may take him a pass, he may look at them as being disloyal. I'm the king. Nobody stops the king. I go out on my shield. This is the mantra he's run out with. So nobody can tell him, because Mark Brill's one of the nicest guys you can come across. Most respected fighters, the trainers you can come across. If my man's dissing him the way he is and showing that level of disrespect by accusing him the way he's accusing him, to me, it completely baffles me. Would I like to see a third fight? I think each fight he's fought, Tyson Fury, he's got a worse beating. Would I? Yeah, I would. I'd see a third fight. See a third fight, because then I'd be curious as to what would be the excuse then.
Very well said.